Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Last Son. Today we're going to take another trip through Seaverse, and today we're going to look at Coastal Zone Championship Wrestling. Back in the 1990s, at a time when SWF sports entertainment product dominated all aspects of American wrestling, people said a tiny promotion from San Diego couldn't possibly hope to survive by promoting fast-paced matches with lightweight workers. CZCW did it anyways, and now have been in business for over 3 decades. Always open to working with others, CZCW has had strong ties with various lucha libre companies, and in 2011, were also the founding members of the Confederation of the Territories, alongside staunch ally MAW and also NYCW. As befits their Californian origin, CZCW are a very progressive, innovative company. They were the first American company to have female workers compete as equals with men, and were also the first to sign up to the Wrestle World streaming service. So you are a small company, 125,000 in the bank. Take a look at your size. In the US, you range from 44 in the Southwest, 30 in the Northwest, 25 in the Mid-South, 15 in the Midwest, 10 in the Southeast, and then the rest of them are kind of below 10. Ranging from 6 to 2. Canada, you range from 9 to 2 across the board. Mexico, you have a little bit more popularity. You range from 13 to 5. British Isles, you're 2 across the board. Japan, you're 2 across the board. Europe, you're 1 across the board. Oceania, 1 across the board. India, no presence, no popularity at all. So to take the next size step into medium, you have to achieve 59 popularity in your home region of the Southwest, and then 35 in either the Mid-South or the Northwest. So right now you sit at a 44 in the Southwest, you sit at a 30 in the Northwest, and 25 in the Mid-South. So you're pretty close to taking that step to being a medium company. Just have to continue building your popularity in those 3 regions. And to do that, thankfully, you are on Wrestle World, and it has a very small presence all throughout America and all throughout Canada. So you're going to have at least some coverage to build those other areas. Like I said, you are on Wrestle World, an internet subscription service that has been designed to give fans access to shows from a wide variety of independent companies across America and Canada. It was launched in March of 2020. Some people saw it as the start of a revolution. Others said it was going to be the death of independent wrestling. You only have to have a minimum quality of 21 for your events. Speaking of your events, you have none of these events as a season finale. So you don't have a season finale. You hold 1 event per month right now. It's 12 events ranging from Revolution and Vendetta, Uprising, Spring Break Bash, Welcome to the Coastal Zone, Surf Slam, Battle on the Beach, Wave of Fury, Reach for the Sky. I kind of like the name of this one, Hardcore Halloween, Showdown at Sundown, and then last but not least, Christmas Cage Chaos. So pretty kind of diverse types of events, but like I said, you have no season finale scheduled. You do have an off-air TV and CZCW Coast to Coast. You could potentially bring that back eventually as you grow in size. Taking a look at your product, it's called Fast and Furious. It's generally associated with smaller wrestlers. This is a fairly serious style that's all about match quality. Bouts are generally fast-paced, full of cutting-edge moves, incorporating high-flying technical wrestling and hard strikes. Character work takes a backseat to match quality. And like it said in the opening, you do have intergender wrestling. Face and heel is not enforced. You don't have any kind of a minis division or a weight split. Stables really aren't used, but you can turn that on if you'd like to use stables. Managers are used. With these settings, these are what's going to be your consequences here. Fans are going to expect 90% matches, 10% angles on your events, 75% matches, 25% angles on TV. Matches are rated on a match quality versus popularity ratio of 75 to 25, 60 to 40, depending on what gets the best rating. So either way you go, your match quality is getting a better rating. If you have some more popular workers, obviously it will be the 60-40 ratio. Most of the time you'll be looking at probably 70-25. This style is going to be hard on your workers due to the physical intensity and the risk of injury from all the high impact moves. Your fans will be upset by dangerous, controversial, or bloody match types. Matches less than 15 minutes will not be able to achieve world class scores. Important matches need to be quite lengthy. They're going to be put off by cheap or tainted endings to matches. Make sure those finishes are clean. Overbooked matches will really annoy the fans. You have a bunch of match styles that's going to be penalized. Only basic match setups like a cage or a pole, and high flying aids like ladders and overhead wires are going to be acceptable. Angles need to be short or they're going to lose the crowd. Gimmicks will not be necessary but will have an impact if used. Each show will need at least one match aimed as steal the show. When looking at this product kind of screams almost like a pure resu type, a Japanese style product that's being basically brought to America. So that kind of is what it reminds me of. It could also remind me of potentially maybe a Ring of Honor, old school, the original pure era, the beginning era of Ring of Honor. Let's take a look at the booking team. You don't have a ton of choices for your booking team. You may end up putting all of these people in. They do have some pretty decent booking skill outside of your owner. Your inner circle is basically a clean slate except for your head men's trainer, which is Fox Mask. So this would basically give you the ability to pick whoever you would like to put into these roles and then eventually hopefully build some of that loyalty to you over time. We take a look at your roster and filter for high star quality people. You can see here it's very light. You have people like El Jaguar, Frankie Perez, Frankie Boy Fernandez, Luis Montero Jr., Masked Cougar. That's all of the workers that you have that has a 70 or above. If we drop this down to say 60, you add a few more people in, but you can see there is a lack of star power in this promotion. So that would be something you would want to potentially address, is that lack of star quality. If we take a look at the top of your card, you're going to have people like American Flash, very good skills, pretty decent in the ring. Performance is a little average, but this product doesn't need that. This product needs those match quality abilities. So his star quality is only a 47, so that's one of the problems with the top of your card here. You also have Frankie Perez, who, as always, has a ton of skills, ton of performance skills, primary skills, fundamental skills. He's an excellent worker. He is getting a little bit older, 37. Frankie Boy Fernandez is kind of the new face of the company, so they're hoping that they can actually keep a hold of him. It says here in the bio he's been working in Japan as well, but he has excellent skills, excellent performance skills, and really good primary and mental skills as well. So he is your current champion. Masked Cougar is another person who has really good skills. He's a little bit lacking in the performance side of it, but has really excellent star quality and some pretty good primary skills. He is 38, so time decline could become a worry with him soon. But as you can see, you have some workers at the top of your card, but you're going to need to get some more workers to the top there. I know that CZCW's had some recent retirements, Pablo Rodriguez and Fox Mask left, and all these people over the last few years have retired and left. So they're kind of trying to replace those workers. Your mid card here has quite a few people in it and some pretty decent workers here as well. You have people like Bullseye, California Love Machine, Carlos Barrera, Chet Chavez, El Jaguar, Heartbreaker, Hugh to Ask, Jay Becker, Johnny Perez, Kira Lee, Luis Montero Jr., Malik Cash, Miguel Rivera, Simon Waves, Sky Hermosa, Tigre Sabalje Jr., Waylon Walls, Zell Quinn. So quite a few people that are still young and has a lot of room for potential growth. You have some people who are more established, but it's a pretty strong mid card. You have quite a few people in your unimportant, these younger workers that potentially could move into the mid card and higher. People like Air Raid Siren, Altitude, Amy St. James, Cillian Catsby, Ellie DeGrazia, Eureka LaBelle, Fox Mask 2, Gabe Apex, Juliet Balcony, Onslaught, Robbie Apex, Swipe Romero, Tony DeWonderful, and Viento Negro. A lot of young, potentially decent workers who will move up into your mid card, could potentially be that next generation that you're looking for. Take a look at your titles. You have 3. You have the Coastal Zone Championship, the 49 Prestige. Current 2-time champion is Frankie Boy Fernandez. It's a highly regarded title. The Coastal Zone Championship has been held by many great workers over the years. Holders are expected to put on the match of the night every night. This reign has been going on for 14 days. There's been no title defenses in that because they only have one event per month. The tag team, current prestige of 28. Your current champions are Chet Chavez and Simon Waves, the Beach Boys. These titles tend to vary in importance depending on the strength of CZCW's tag division at that time. And at times have almost been seeming almost as important as the Coastal Zone Championship itself. But as you can see, the prestige has kind of fallen in the last few years, and the Coastal Zone Championship has raised above this in importance. It's a floating level championship. This reign's been going on for 80 days. There's been 2 successful title defenses so far in that reign. And then you have the Coastal Zone Extreme title, which has a 30 prestige. So it's a little bit more prestigious than your tag titles. Current 2-time champion is Carlos Barrera. This is a secondary title generally fought for in gimmick matches, with the extreme referring to the fact that there has to be a clean finish, so there's no countouts, no disqualifications. This reign has been going on for 62 days. It's had 1 successful title defense so far. So this is almost like the extreme hardcore type title, or it could even go into like the X Division from TNA type title. So it depends on what way you want to take it. Like I said, there's no stables in CZCW, but you could create them for the storylines if you need to, based on your current style. Because it's a very Japanese themed product, you're not required to run any storylines, and you obviously could feel free to add storylines, whether it's just for your record keeping or if you're trying to build popularity and momentum using that system that's within the game. Teams wise, you do have a pretty good mix of teams. You have Gangster Nation, the Apex Twins, Beach Boys, the California Dreams, Inner City Express, that's your first 100 experience team. The Wildcats, another 100 experience team. And then you have Thunderstruck. So you have a couple teams that are really experienced, and then some teams that are just kind of starting out and maybe had a few years worth of experience. But all in all, it's a pretty good tag division. So this is your creative and your franchise players. And as you can see, Frankie Boy Fernandez is kind of the only franchise player you have. That also kind of alludes to the whole lack of star quality that you have in the promotion. So that would be something I would want to address, is getting some more star quality and get some more franchise players on this list. Next big things, you have Kira Lee and Cillian Catsby. These are people who could potentially carry the company. And I like both of these workers and the way they look, the skills they offer. So I would definitely push them. Your hot prospects may not be the stars who carry the company, but they could be definitely valuable members of the roster. So you have Viento Negro, Kira Lee, Carlos Barrera, Miguel Rivera, Cillian Catsby. With Catsby and Lee both being on both lists, that's the game's way of telling you, hey, you might want to look at these guys. When you want to do promos, here are the people you want to have involved with those promos. People like the Guru, Frankie Boy Fernandez, Juliet Balconi, Frankie Perez, and Cillian Catsby. Showstoppers, people who can really take their performance up to a new level, steal the show, are going to be people like Max Cougar and Frankie Boy Fernandez, Tigre Sabaje Jr., Frankie Perez, and El Jaguar. Ring generals, those people who may not be able to pull off the match of the night every night, but they're also people that can be relied on to carry us the dust of dead weight to a watchable match. It's people like Tigre Sabaje Jr., El Jaguar, Frankie Perez, Frankie Boy Fernandez, and Master Cougar. Quite a bit of people who have some hot momentum. Thankfully, nobody that has no momentum or struggling with momentum. One thing I want to definitely take and call to your attention is the Alliance. You are a member of the Confederation of the Territories. So Invincible Pro Wrestling, Mid-Atlantic Wrestling, and New York City Wrestling. It used to be Ollie was in here as well. But what I would do is, you have currently the COTT World Heavyweight Champion and Frankie Perez on your roster. So I would take advantage of the Alliance loans and bring people in from other people in the Alliance, other potential champions, workers that you'd like to work with. Bring him in and have him defend that belt. Now, he may end up losing it, but that would give you the chance to bring whoever gets that World Heavyweight title into your company and have feuds with people that's on your roster. So this is a pretty cool thing. One thing I would do would be, I would come in here and I would turn this to any status, and I would unretire these tag team titles. They were retired because the American Cobras signed with TCW, didn't have an opportunity to drop them. I don't know why they just didn't vacate them, but I would unretire these, put them back into being competed for by my company and all the companies of the Alliance, and any potential people that would join the Alliance then. So I would definitely take advantage of this proposing Alliance loans. You do have some pretty good working relationships with CILL. They have a talent trading agreement. They've agreed not to steal workers from each other. EMLL, you have a good working relationship with those guys. So you could potentially trade talent for some luchadors. Maybe you could get a high star quality potential worker from these guys. I don't know what you'd have to give up. And then obviously Invincible Pro and Mid-Atlantic, you have a really friendly relationship with both those companies. You do have a training facility, the Coastal Resort. It's a dojo set up by Coastal Zone Championship Wrestling in 2006. It was originally just called Camp CZCW. It gained its current name as ironic reference to its ultra low tech status and the punishing regime that the students are put through. Previous head trainers of the facility have included Donnie J and Joanne Rodriguez. Current training level is 22%. If we raise that up, we'll get students will have better quality to them. Facilities are 12%, which means at the moment 2 people are going to graduate. If we raise that up, you'll get more people, but it'll also become more expensive. And then here's the following styles of wrestling that Coastal Resort actually teaches, which makes sense. It fits in with that whole type of product that they put forth. as you hopefully become more successful and you start gaining in size, getting more money, and you can up the training level, up the facilities, and help build that next group of workers that will take advantage of CZCW and their product and potentially get you some stars. Well, guys, that has been today's look at Coastal Zone Championship Wrestling as we make our journey through the Cornellverse. But in the comments, leave some tips and tricks for CZCW. Who have you signed? What have you done? I think this is one company I'm leaning towards doing a save with on the channel, so that might be out in the near future. While you're down there in those comments leaving those tips and tricks, go ahead and leave the thumbs up for the video, subscribe to the channel. I'm Last Son. This has been Journey Through the Cornellverse with CZCW. Keep playing, stay awesome, and I'll see you in our next video.